Hello students, welcome to Legacy IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the new member that is going to be added in this organization, what are the mandate and what is the relevance of this organization, especially from reference to India. So why this particular issue is news? So recently it has been announced by the Foreign Minister of China that the Iran and Belarus could soon become the newest member of the China and Russia backed SCO, and as per the Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson from China, he says that in the Samarkand summit, Samarkand is in Uzbekistan, which is also a member of SCO. So in September this year, there is going to be a Samarkand summit of SCO. And in that particular summit, the leadership is going to adopt a document that what are the obligations Iran must fulfill so that it can become the member of SCO. As far as the Belarus is concerned, its accession procedure and the legal procedure for its accession to the SCO is already to start. Then, according to the Foreign Minister spokesperson of China, he said that the suggested expansion of SCO would basically exhibit the collective's rising international influence in the global order, and the principle that it tries to exude will also be widely accepted. So, what is SCO? So, first of all, it was called as Shanghai 5, which was we can say formulated in year 1996, and at that time it had a member like Russia, China and three Central Asian countries such as Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan. The main focus of this particular organization was on conflict resolution in the region, and especially it was instituted as an organization which is representing a post-Soviet world order. And that is why the three main focus area of Shanghai 5 has been identified. The first was to ensure the regional security. Second was to reduce the number of border guards at the border of each of these countries. And third, also to tackle collectively the menace of terrorism. Further, in the year 2001, with the addition of Uzbekistan as the new member, the Shanghai 5 had been rechristened as Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Further, later on, two more members were also added, such as India and Pakistan. Now, as far as the working procedure of Shanghai Cooperation Organization is concerned, it has to follow the Shanghai Spirit, which is enumeration of 5 different themes and 5 different principles. The first principle under Shanghai Spirit is that all the member countries should try to strengthen the mutual trust between them and also to ensure the feeling of neighborliness among them. Similarly, the second charter of the Shanghai Spirit aims to promote the effective cooperation among all the 8 member states in various spectrum of areas such as economy, trade, research and development as well as cultural exchange. The third point of Shanghai Spirit is that all member states should try to have a joint effort to maintain and ensure peace, security and stability in the region. And the last point is that it should ensure a democratic, fair and rational new international political and economic order. And this is where we can see a kind of contradiction, because as far as the democracy is concerned, most of the member states of SCO except India are basically having kind of a communist, for example, if we talk about China, it is led by Communist Party, which is a single party. Similarly, Russia, basically there is no existence of opposition parties, and that is why we can say that the major countries such as Russia and China, even some Central Asian countries, are not very good example of a democratic, fair and rational country or democratic, fair and rational society. So, who are the current members of SCO? So, we can divide the current members of SCO into 3 groups. First, we have the 4 Central Asian member countries such as Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and later Uzbekistan was added. Then, apart from that, basically it is China, India, Pakistan and Russia. These are the other 4 member countries. However, there are 4 countries which are also have been given an observer status to the SCO, and these countries are Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran and Mongolia. So, this is the current composition of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. With addition of Belarus and Iran in the coming days or in the coming months, we can see that the member will grow to 10 member states, while we will have Afghanistan and Mongolia as observer countries. Now, the most important question that we have to understand is that what is the relevance to India as far as the SCO is concerned, because India is member of other groups also that is led by Western countries such as US, UK and France and Germany. Then, most important relevance to India of SCO is that SCO provide India with a platform to discuss the differences which it has with other neighboring countries such as especially China and Pakistan on the sidelines of the SCO summit. And this we can understand from 2 recent examples. For example, in 2015 when the SCO summit was going on in Ufa city of Russia, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a bilateral meeting with the former Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Similarly, recently in year 2020, when the SCO summit was going on in Moscow, Foreign Minister S. Jayasankar negotiated a 5-point agreement with his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi, the Foreign Minister of China. So that is the most important advantage that SCO offers to India, because there is no other such grouping, there is no such an organization where Pakistan, India both can have a constructive dialogue. Apart from as far as China is concerned, then obviously we have BRICS also. So that is why SCO is a kind of additional advantage as far as the negotiation between China, India and Pakistan is concerned. Now, what is the organizational structure of Shanghai Cooperation Organization? So, it has two permanent bodies. The first body is called as SCO Secretariat, that is situated in Beijing, while the second body is called as Executive Committee of the RATS, that is Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure, which is situated in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan. Apart from that, it has three semi-permanent bodies such as Heads of State Council, Heads of Government Council and the Foreign Ministers Council. Now, these three organizations have also been given a specific task that they have to perform. Now, as far as the Head of State Council is concerned, it is considered to be the supreme decision-making body and meet annually. Similarly, Head of Government Council is also to ensure the priority areas and multilateral cooperation strategy, and the Foreign Minister Council are mainly involved in day-to-day tasks on day-to-day activities of the organization. Now, the most important question that emerges, that whether SCO can be considered as a counter to West, and this question emerges because the SCO have a charter where it is clearly written that it will have a precise assertion, precise objective of building a new international political and economic order that is not led by West. Apart from that, there are three other reasons why we can consider SCO as a counter to West. First of all, the China has been going on through a decades of rapid economic growth, and that is why it provides as an alternative to the Western bloc-led economic development or global growth of the world. Second, Russia also has become a kind of isolated from the Western countries, mainly because of its actions since 2014, where it annexed Crimea, and the recent Ukraine war that it has waged, and that is why it is subject to a lot of isolation, lot of sanctions by the Western countries, and thus Russia and China want to build a partnership where SCO can lend a good hand. Similarly, the new members Iran and Belarus also, they want to increase their ties with China and Russia, and they also want to look more toward east rather than west, and Iran especially want to use its tie with China and Russia as a leverage against the West. So that is why these 3-4 countries have a kind of solid ground, because they are kind of anti-Western policies they are adopting, and that is why we can consider SCO as a counter to West. Now, what we can say in conclusion is that as far as India's membership to SCO is concerned, India is not only member of SCO but is also member of Quad group, which is led by US, Japan and Australia, and that is why the India's association with the grouping is of a rather different nature, and it's part of the foreign policy which emphasizes on strategic autonomy and multi-alignment. That means India does not want to be a member of any bloc, whether it is a Russia-China bloc or whether it is a Western countries bloc. It wants to have such a relationship that its own development is not hampered, its own objective or its own interests are not hampered in any way, and that is why India is a member of both the groups. So that is all about this particular issue. Thank you very much.